Hello and welcome back to our conversation about promoting interdisciplinary care at the intersection of faith and neuroscience. I'm Dr. Leonard Matheson. Today we're going to talk about the optimally helpful counselor. Now, every good counselor wants to help the client as best they can. This lesson is about 3 simple ways to help your client that you may not have considered. The first is that we should provide proper services. The second is that we should create a client-centered treatment plan. And the third is that we should avoid creating financial stress for our clients. You may already be handling these properly, or you may never have considered them. Let's take a closer look. First, providing proper services. Services must address the diagnosis. This seems to be self-evident, but some new counselors don't fully grasp its significance. Not long ago, a licensed professional counselor told me that my clients just want to have someone to talk to, someone with whom they can share their concerns over a cup of tea. While I recognize there's some truth to what she said, I became alarmed when I asked her about working from a proper diagnosis. Well, sure, I'll provide a diagnosis if the person wants to file for insurance coverage, but I don't accept insurance. This led to a conversation that really helped her to be an optimally helpful counselor. Providing the proper service begins with the diagnosis. The diagnosis must support the provided service in terms of type, intensity, duration, and provider. With regard to type of service, it's pretty straightforward. Depression, PTSD, and insomnia all receive different types of service. With regard to intensity of service, a severely depressed person with a recent suicide attempt may need services twice per week, while a person with insomnia may do better with services once every 2 weeks. With regard to duration of service, a person with a major depressive disorder comorbid with a traumatic brain injury is going to need service longer than a person who has an adjustment disorder with anxiety. And all of these lead to identification of the proper provider of service. Some people can be handled by a provisionally licensed counselor, while others will need a fully licensed professional. Some people can be optimally treated with only behavioral health counseling. Other people will need an interdisciplinary treatment program involving their primary care physician. And other people will need an interdisciplinary treatment plan that requires a psychiatrist or a neurologist. Now, I designed the counseling progress assessment process to address all of these issues as efficiently as possible. Basically, the counselor uses the CPA to collect the necessary information, to identify a proper diagnosis, and create a client-centered treatment plan, and with the client's permission, communicate with involved treaters. But not so obviously, the CPA process also addresses the third issue about how to become an optimally helpful counselor. Let me explain. If you accept insurance reimbursement for your services, you probably already handle this. But even if you do, I'd like to quickly review it. There is a built-in financial incentive that some counselors miss. It has to do with billing the initial evaluation properly. A large minority of counselors don't bill the 90791 CPT code because they don't do a formal diagnostic evaluation. And here's the incentive part. The 90791 code reimburses at about 10% more than the 90837 code for a 1-hour psychotherapy session. And the 90791 code reimburses about 35% more than the standard 90834 45-minute psychotherapy session. It's designed with this incentive because it takes more professional skill and effort. It also produces better results. And here is the third way that you get to help your clients by being an optimally helpful counselor. The CPA diagnosis provides the foundation for insurance reimbursement. Without a proper diagnosis and evidence that services matched to that diagnosis were provided, insurance reimbursement will be denied. Now, you may be like my colleague who said, I don't take insurance. But wait a minute. Even if you don't take insurance, if your client has paid for insurance, she can get credit for all of what she pays you against her deductible. And she may be able to recoup part of what she pays you as an out-of-network provider. She can do both of these if you provide her with a proper invoice that she can submit to her carrier. The invoice will need a proper diagnosis and the dates of service and the CPT codes for each date. Here's the invoice I created for people I supervise. I've got a free Excel spreadsheet that I'll be glad to send to you that you can use to help your client. It doesn't take more than a few minutes each month. For myself, I use a billing service because I do accept some types of insurance, and I always want to help all of my clients, even if I'm not on their insurance company's list of providers. And so thank you for considering how to become an optimally helpful counselor. Here we have some optimally helpful resources. First, as I mentioned earlier, there's a free invoice Excel spreadsheet that we'll be glad to send to you. Of course, we've also got additional videos and training on YouTube. Just subscribe to our channel. Then finally, we do offer private or small group consultation. Get in contact with us at faithfulbrain.com for more information. Thanks very much for your attention. Have a great day.